Hey everybody, this is Warden with Karnivores. I actually recently moved to Kansas City, Missouri, and today was my first game at Missouri Airsoft Simulation Site out in Lawson. I was not used to this type of field play. I'm used to more woods ball with a slight bit of CQB here and there. Um, yeah, this was almost all hardcore indoor CQB. It was still outdoors, but we were going in and out of buildings. I was definitely not used to this type of field play, um, and I was not used to any of this. I didn't know the map, I didn't know the people. It was an all new experience. It was still very fun, but you can definitely see how bad I was, and I just did not know what to expect. But I mean, I can show you how bad it was. So this is the start of my day. Um, I ended up showing up late because I still had to do a few things in the morning. This is just us going to the spawn point, just chit chatting, dicking around. I kind of sped it up because not much really happened, just kind of looking around at other stuff, checking my gear, and this is where we start. I don't know where I'm going, so I'm just following these guys. They kind of went through some bushes, thought it was a good idea. The other team had a 5 minute head start. They ended up being able to put up barriers to block us from getting in and setting up barricades to defend themselves with. Um, I didn't know if there was enemies or not, so I just kind of took my time. They dashed in. I didn't know what was good or bad at this point. I kind of noticed they're all going through the front door. Um, I kind of stick with them for a little bit, but I decided to get a little ballsy and go through to the side. So I kind of peek in through the windows and I don't see anything. In my mind, I think, what if I can sneak in through the back? I thought I heard enemies, and I was being cautious because I thought they were on the other side of the wall. Turns out it was my teammates coming in. My teammates are being way more ballsy than I am, and they scared the living daylights out of me. At this point, I'm getting a little concerned because I've gone through the entire side of the building and we only saw one person. Um, I'm coming up to the very end of the other side. So I'm very curious as to where everybody is. It's just making me very concerned. I am sneaking back behind the enemy and I notice this blatant barricade. You can hear my teammates hitting the enemies on the right there at that barricade. So I end up trying to peek around and see if I can possibly sneak in. This doesn't go anywhere nearly as I planned, as there's no way to open this door where they got being pelted by my own team. So I end up just waiting and peeking in and out, and nothing came about that. At this point, I just figured I'd go around and try and find a different way in. Or so I thought. I heard enemies and saw lights, so I prepared to fight back.
As you can tell from that horribly boring montage, nothing actually happened. Until this. Because I snuck into the enemy base from behind, another teammate had the same idea and friendly fired me. He did apologize, it's all in good game, but it did stink to, sneak into the back of the enemy game and not have anything come of it, other than just getting taken out. So, I had to spawn. I go back into the game, and I don't want to do what I just did, going to the very other end of the building and being hit by a teammate again. I'm seeing my teammates are coming out, so they're going down. I figured because they're coming out of the front, I want to double check to make sure I'm not going to get hit. But I want to check the side to make sure nobody tries to flank me. But I do see a teammate coming out from that end. I almost hit him, but luckily I didn't. At this point, I just decide to follow my teammates. Again, I don't know the map, and I don't know the gameplay very well. So, I figured, better in numbers. I'm pretty certain you can tell, but I'm being very defensive. Again, I don't know the players, the playstyles, or the area, and the room is filled to the brim with smoke because of the grenades. I have not been used to grenades being in a close quarters environment, and it's making it very hard to breathe and see at the same time. As you can tell, it's not just me being defensive. My entire team over here is as well. They have an open area, or we're in a very open area, and the enemy team is hidden. I know my teammate just came out of here, but I wanted to double check just to make sure. And I see a hole at the end of this building, or room, in which I find out they're actually bathroom stalls. So I didn't want to check if they were used or not. On a side note, from what I did here is you should actually check the stalls, because people have been known to stand on the toilets themselves to hide and pelt people from very close. At this point, I had to get out of here. The smoke was pouring in through that hole, and it was just burning my lungs and my eyes at the same time. I know my teammates are fighting, and they could use my backup, but it backfires on me. I get hit, and I'm out. At this point, I decide I actually had better chances going solo using my old plan, so I try that again. Seeing multiple teammates actually walk towards me from this direction is causing a little concern for me. I'm still hearing a little bit of noise, and a little bit behind me. I didn't get hit. That's actually just me waving at a friendly because I didn't want to get hit. Yes, that was a BB, and I have no idea where that came from.
Dead in this room over here. Everyone in this room is still dead. I know. Chase still alive?
I thought we cleared.
We're trying to figure out if any enemies are still left alive. We know there are some in the room that are down, but we don't know if there's any still up in there.
Huh?
Dead in here. You don't even need to put your gun in here. We cannot be revived.
You good?
Your eyes down the hall.
We're all friendly.
We're dead. We're dead. We're dead.
So where is everyone? Are we done?
We're dead. We're dead. I know. Is the other guy dead? Yes.
At this point, my team is assuming that everybody's down, but we're clearing the rooms just in case to make sure.
Oh, say there's nothing over there. I went through here. Clear?
At this point, everybody's calling clear rooms, so we won.
Oh, really?
I was behind the fridge.
There for a while, you guys were definitely engaging each
That
other.
was me behind the fridge.
Oh, that's what I was shooting at. I was shooting at you.
I'm right here shooting. I accidentally.
Oh, say I ended up getting to the back. I think you got me out.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I was the one who got all the way to the back. Yeah.
I'm assuming we're defenders now, or are we going back?
Hey, calm down.
Jesus. There's not people in here.
Oh yeah, take a break. We just rotate and start back up. How many guys got? I think we got 6. That was perfect. Pretty nifty game. Yeah, that was fun. I like that one. I just kept moving that fridge back and forth trying to get angles.
See, when I was back there, I was like, man, if I move this door over, I could get them. But I was like, I'm gonna be pelted by my own team. Because every time I went to like put my hand on the doors, I'm like, nope.
Everywhere it went.
I would really like to emphasize the. So after this round, the teams ended up switching, and I ended up being on the defending side. We did win that one again, but that one is a much more boring video because me and the guy that actually shot me ended up bunkering down in a room and not being found. But that'll be a video for another day. For anybody still actually listening at this point, I would like to point out that today, or that day specifically, was the first day that I brought out my new H&K 416A5. It worked very well. I did change out the barrel and the hop up and the bugging to a flat hop system. The PEQ box does actually work. This is a replica 553. I am gonna have to switch it out because the last field that I used to go to out in Florida, called Wayne's World of Paintball, definitely had more shaded areas in the trees and a slight indoor CQB, but it was mostly just shaded area, which let the dot sight work as intended. Mass is definitely outside with very little shading. So using this outside, I could barely see the dot sight. So I'm going to have to switch that out soon, or really save money to invest in a real EOTech. But I just wanted to add a shameless plug out to VFC, and this is an amazing gun in general. So yeah, look forward to more videos, guys.